These scales actually reflect how bread used to be weighed in times of famine. The mention of barley and wheat in the passage above is why the latter interpretation is used more commonly. The prices mentioned may not make much sense now, but it roughly translates to an entire day's work just to buy some of the ingredients needed to make bread, so you can see how that may have caused famine. It also mentions that the price of oil and wine remains untouched, but these were luxuries way out of the price range of a common worker. This can also be taken in a literal sense, as a plague of locusts could easily ravage crops, but grapevines and olive branches are a bit more resolute. If the horseman is bringing this famine as a punishment, then going after necessities like wheat and barley, which offer little resistance but are of great importance, does make sense. If we once again go back to the Roman Empire, the third horseman and the increasing costs of basic necessities would represent the excessive taxation of Roman citizens that led to the rich continuing their lavish lifestyles while everyone else struggled just to feed their families. The fourth and final horseman is the pale rider. Many scholars describe a sickly appearance as opposed to a specific color like the other horsemen. In later artistic interpretations, the color green is what we would associate with the horseman of death. When the Lamb broke the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature saying, "Come!" I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and he who sat on it had the name Death, and Hades was following with him. Authority was given to them over a fourth of the earth, to kill with sword and with famine and with pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth. The fourth horseman is the only one to be mentioned by name. He's also referred to as Thanatos, a Greek deity or spirit associated with non-violent death. Death is also described as being followed by Hades, which, in this sense, may not necessarily mean the god himself, but more so Hades, the resting place of the dead. Authority was given to them over a fourth of the earth, to kill with sword and with famine, and with pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth. This can be interpreted as death being given authority to kill and Hades to take the souls, but the fact it mentions by sword, famine, and pestilence suggests this passage refers to all four horsemen. After years of carnage, famine, oppression, and failures by the empire to look after its own people, death would mark the dissolution of the Roman Empire. The four horsemen have been interpreted in many different ways, one being as a prophecy of the Great Tribulation, a series of judgments from God that caused many on earth to die. Those who repented for their sins and accepted him as their savior would form a new world of those who remained faithful,